Hi, welcome back. So we're going to continue talking about line 2 gear options, and we're going to talk about surplus flick or fighting load carrier. This was part of the Molly 2 system that the military came out with. They didn't get wide, they got a bad rep in the military. I'll talk about that later. So they've ended up on the surplus market for absolutely dirt cheap. These are a good option if you need to carry a bunch of stuff. You don't need a rucksack and you don't need armor. Now, if you need armor, get a plate carrier, obviously. If you need to carry a rucksack, you probably want a chest rig, not a flick. The reason being, a flick is designed to run low on your torso. If you run it too high on your torso, it gets really just doesn't fit well. So you want to run it low. And one of the really nice things about these, when you run them right, is you very naturally, from your gun, can reach down to your magazines. This is a very natural movement. It's much easier to reload from down here than it is to kind of do the whole T-Rex dinosaur arms to try to pull mags out of a chest rig up high. So really the nice thing about the flick is it lets you put your pouches down low. Now this pouch layout isn't exactly how I'd run this. It just happens to be it's just random pouches I had sitting around. Now there's two big advantages to the flick over a battle belt that's worth mentioning. First, it's tall, so potentially you can stack pouches. So like in this example, my random pouches, I've got 2 magazine pouches and potentially a grenade higher up. And that still leaves my center line clear if I need to crawl or get prone, something like that. So that's kind of nice that you can stack things. The second advantage is if you happen to be a fat guy, it covers the gut and you look better. Hey, people are vain. Now the flick does leave your back clear. So if you're going to wear a backpack with this, small backpack, it works well. Now, these have a very bad reputation, especially in the military. Most of the reason for that is because they wore them with rucksacks. So you'd be wearing a flick potentially on top of armor. So you have armor with Molly on it, and then a flick on top of that is just an extra layer that's not necessary. And because a rucksack, just grab one. A rucksack will have a waist belt, and as you can see, this waist belt interferes with where the flick is. Like the waist belt just kind of is in the same part of your body. So in order to get around that, you can raise the flick up higher on your chest. You lose the advantage of being able to reload from low, and this isn't really designed for it. So if you do that, it ends up kind of bouncing around a lot. Within the military, because it doesn't work with a rucksack and it's kind of weird with armor, they didn't get much use. They've hit the surplus market and they tend to be just stupid cheap. I'll put some links in the description, but I think the one I'm wearing cost me 20 bucks. You can get them depending on the camo pattern, they'll range it. I think I've seen them go as low as 15 for UCP, the Army's digital camo that doesn't match anything. And I've seen them go as high as 50 bucks for the multicam ones. For what it is, when you consider it's a line 2 vest covered in Molly, made in the USA, high quality gear, it's a really good price. It's just, it doesn't work with armor, it doesn't work with a rucksack. One other thing that's worth mentioning is these will fit absolutely anyone. On the back, you've got attachments here. You can see the height adjustment. I'm short, so it's most of the way down. But you could let a lot more of the webbing out for taller guys. If you're fatter or skinnier, it's really easy to take this tab, put the camera on. So the length adjustments, you just pull this tab out, find the piece of Molly you want it at, and stick the ends through. There's bottom ends through, top ends out. Not sure I can quite do this on camera. There we go. So you can pull this just by moving which piece of molly this is in. You can make this really skinny or really fat. And then for guys who are really, really skinny, you can actually disconnect, I think it's this one. You can skip that and run these straps just to the side. And bring the waist belt way in the middle. So, for the money, this is a really good option. The only times you wouldn't want it is if you need armor or a rucksack. But other than that, this is great.